Welcome to Spurs Focus, your go-to spot for daily Tottenham news, transfers, and match updates. Don't forget to support the channel by hitting that subscribe button now. Let's dive into today's top story. Thomas Frank's first North London derby at the helm of Spurs was not quite what anyone imagined. It was the first such game to be played outside of the English capital. And if anyone expected a pre-season encounter between Tottenham and Arsenal to be a friendly affair, then that idea was dispelled within minutes in front of a record crowd of 49,975 inside the air-conditioned Kai Tak Stadium in Hong Kong with its roof closed. Tackles flew in from both sides. Christian Romano nutmegged the diving Kai Havertz, who in turn crashed into Jed Spence. Pedro Porro pushed Mikel Arteta away so he could take a throw-in, and Richarlison did, well, you know what Richarlison does. And for those who assumed that Arsenal would steamroll Spurs with some of their £200 million plus summer spending on show, including Frank, favourite Christian Norgård starting, and Christian Mosquera, Victor Gyökeres and Martin Zubimendi all coming off the bench, then they would have been mistaken. Spurs always look better when they can get Romero and Mickey van der Ven in the centre of the backline together. And those two, allied with a strong defensive unit around them with the 4-2-3-1 formation, kept Arsenal's Saka, Havertz, Martinelli, Odegaard and Rice at bay to such a degree that Guglielmo Vicario did not have a save to make. Instead, it was Spurs who had the better chances, hitting the woodwork 3 times in the first half alone. Porro's corner curled past everyone and hit the right-hand post with David Raya, watching helplessly. Then Wilson Odobert drove into the box and his ever so slightly deflected low shot struck the same upright before the subsequent corner bounced against the left-hand post, then hit Richarlison and deflected up and over off the crossbar. Then came the winning goal, which was a pre-season beauty, albeit one that probably would have been ruled out in the Premier League. There was what looked like a foul in the build-up from Richarlison on Miles Lewis-Skelly, but that did not detract from the perfect technique of Pape Matar Sarr's finish from just over the halfway line as he clipped the ball up and over David Raya and into the Arsenal net after spotting the keeper off his line. It brought back memories of Harry Kane's halfway line pre-season strike against Juventus years before. Neither side created much in the second half as the changes came, but if anyone should have added another to the scoreline, it was Spurs after the hour mark. Following some quick feet from substitute Mathis Tel down the left, the Frenchman swung in a cross that Mickey van der Ven managed to head wide from a good position. Under Frank, the Spurs players have been put through individual training drills where they have to deal with a series of shots from all angles sent towards mini goals in a small space. The aim is for them to react, slide and stop everything that comes their way and prevent any shot from any angle reaching the back of those nets. It has become something of a competition, and it's not just the defenders, but also the midfielders and attackers who take part. Everybody in Frank's team must be willing to throw their body on the line at a split second's notice to keep the opposition out. That was on full display against Arsenal and football. London asked the new Spurs head coach whether those sessions had already reaped their rewards in a game like this. Yeah, that is very pleasing, of course. I think we have been very clear that this was not a friendly. It felt like a competitive match, he said. I think you saw it was competitive, and if you played in it, it was competitive. Some of the bits we have been working hard on is the combination of defensive organisation, so high pressure, middle, low, so there are clear principles, and that desire to keep a clean sheet because that gives you a bigger opportunity to win matches. Frank banged the table with his hand midway through that answer to fully underline the need for defensive organisation. I think for the team we are building together, all the positive results or performances you can get just reinforce the messages we try to get into the players, and the team feel that, he added. That desire to defend was good. First half in general, we played very good overall. Second half, I felt we defended a bit too much. But that was good, and the set pieces I think were good as well. We defended very well, but were also very dangerous. This was another disciplined 1-0 victory for Tottenham that brought silverware, albeit the pre-season Herbalgy trophy rather than something on the level of the Europa League they lifted in May. Things got spicy after Spurs edged Arsenal in Hong Kong. Richarlison tried to rub it in on social media, but Arsenal defender Gabriel wasn't having any of it firing back with Premier League receipts. Stay tuned as we break down the hilarious back and forth between the two Brazilian rivals and what it means for the North London rivalry heading into the new season. Let's get into it. Arsenal star Gabriel reminded compatriot Richarlison of the games that really matter after the rivals faced off in pre-season. Spurs and Brazil forward. Richarlison was on the winning side in Hong Kong and shared a photo of his Man of the Match award on social media. He also tagged Gabriel in the post in an apparent dig at the Gunners' centre back. The defender wasn't going to let that slide though, responding with photos of the 3 Man of the Match awards he won in Premier League games against Spurs. The first of the 3 awards came in the 2023-24 season, when Arsenal won 3-2 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Gabriel was also Man of the Match in both of last season's games, a 1-0 away win and 2-1 home victory for the Gunners. Arsenal had won both of their first 2 pre-season fixtures against AC Milan and Newcastle United. They came up short against their North London rivals though, with Pape Matar Sarr scoring the only goal of the game. Gabriel wasn't involved in the match in Hong Kong, as he continues to work his way back from injury. However, there were debuts for the Gunners' new striker Victor Gyökeres and centre-back Christian Mosquera. A big surprise because whenever we have them, new signings to participate in training sessions, in games, the attitude and especially the quality that they have has been incredible. So, very pleased. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta said after the game. As I said, a lot of great things to take from this tour. The incredible camaraderie that we had between the players and the staff, and how I think everyone values where we are. It's been a long 2 weeks with a lot happening. A lot of things that you have to adapt in your preparation. But the attitude of everybody to make it happen, especially to everybody who has been involved in preparing all of the tour for us. A big thank you because they've done an amazing job. Spurs boss Thomas Frank was delighted with the result, even if it was a friendly. A 1-0 score against Arsenal is an absolutely beautiful score, he told club media. Yes, it is a friendly, but it's also a very competitive match. I said before the game that games against Arsenal are never friendly. It means everything. I have to give respect to both teams for their competitiveness in the game. It was very competitive. Tottenham Hotspur have been put on red alert after it was claimed on Tuesday that Harry Kane is making plans to return to the Premier League. Kane moved to Bayern Munich in the summer of 2023, and after missing out on the Bundesliga in his first season in Bavaria, he managed to complete his dream in the 2024-25 season. Heading into the new campaign, the England captain is preparing for further glory in Germany and potentially more silverware to add to the collection ahead of the World Cup in the United States. While Kane is not planning on leaving Munich this summer, the Telegraph understands that 2026 could be a big year for the forward, who will be 33 by then. They claim that Kane could seek a return back to the Premier League after the World Cup, which will undoubtedly alert Spurs fans. After Kane left Tottenham, Chairman Daniel Levy insisted that there is a buyback clause in the deal that saw the talisman leave. How exactly that works is unclear, but one school of thought is that Spurs would have first refusal to sign the striker. There is also believed to be a release clause in play for Kane to activate in January. It is claimed that should he activate that clause this winter, Bayern would be legally obligated to sell the forward for £54 million. As for whether Tottenham would be interested in signing Kane again, the answer is most likely to be yes. The striker has scored 85 goals in 96 appearances for Bayern and is showing no signs of slowing down. A return to the Premier League, whether with Tottenham or not, could be on Kane's radar sooner rather than later. The forward is currently just 47 goals behind Alan Shearer's record for all-time goalscorer in the division. Realistically, Kane would need at least 2 full seasons in the Premier League to set that record, and thus a move would need to be completed next summer to ensure he could have enough games in him to beat Shearer's figure of 200.